So far, the distinguishable states that we have got are, these are the distinguishable states. The blue color ones are the states that we found in the base step, whereas the red color one are the states which were newly found to be distinguishable when we considered sigma equal to 0. Now input alphabet over here for the given DFA is 0, 1. So in the recursive step, what we did was we tried to find out transition of each state on input 0, and based on what we got on the right hand side, we tried to find out which combinations will work out of this, and we tried to come up with the new states. Okay, so at the end of the iteration, okay, what we get is we have found that these are the distinguishable states found so far, and the table currently looks like this. Notice that although I am writing the states here, the distinguishable states here, it is for my reference, it is basically a rough work. Okay, now now we will start with the next iteration. What we will do is, whatever we have done for the previous iteration, okay, the same thing will be repeated but on reading 1 instead of 0. So in the current iteration, we are going to find out transition of each state on reading input 1, and we will do the same thing. Now just to save time, what I have done is I have solved the problem, okay, and we will trace the problem, how it is solved, so that you are going to understand how it continues. Okay, so these are the states which are found to be distinguishable so far. This is the table that is so far filled. Okay, now we need to find transition of each state on reading 1. So I am writing here transition of state A on 1, transition of B on 1, transition of state D on 1. I have skipped transition of state C just because state C was a final state. So whenever you have a final state, you need not write the transition of the final state. Then I get these right hand side state values. C, since C is a final state, I have depicted it with star. This is exactly same as what we have done in the previous repetitive step. Now from the already found or already existing distinguishable states that we have, okay, now looking at the right hand side, you need to figure out which among all these combinations, which pair of states will be fruitful in giving you new distinguishable states. Okay, so when you consider A comma C, notice that C is there on the right hand side, however A is not there on the right hand side, and that's why pair A comma C cannot give you any fruitful result, cannot give you any more distinguishable states from here. That's why I am ignoring it. Similarly, state B comma C, although C is there but B is not present on the right hand side. So B comma C, this combination of already existing distinguishable state also will not be able to give you new distinguishable state. Okay, so also the combination which is over here, okay, all these combinations, okay, are not going to give you any fruitful states. However, you see only the states which are marked in blue color, blue tick mark, only those states will be able to give you new combination. How do you know? Because in these pairs you find that both the members in the pair appear on the right hand side. For example, E comma C, E also appears on the right hand side, C also appears on the right hand side. That's why E comma C pair will give you a new distinguishable state. Which one we are going to see next. Similarly, F comma C, F is also present on the right hand side, C is also present on the right hand side. That means already existing distinguishable pair F comma C is also going to give you new pair of states, and so on. So now we will be repeating the same procedure what we did for input 0. We will be repeating the same procedure to determine any new distinguishable states as follows. Now first we are going to see the pair E comma C or C comma E. E and C are already found to be distinguishable. Okay, so let us continue. Okay, so I say for the states C and E which are found to be distinguishable, we get only these two combinations. Okay, so looking on the right hand side, like what I have done in the previous iteration, okay, I will not repeat it. Okay, just see C and E. Now C appears at two places and E appears only at one place. So one combination will be this and the second combination will be this. Okay, now you see state B on 1, okay, you see state B on 1 gives you C and state G on 1 gives you E. Now since C and E they are distinguishable, I can then say that state B and state G is also distinguishable. So since B and G, B on 1 gives you C, G on 1 gives you E, that's why we find that state B and G is distinguishable. Okay, so what we are going to do is, you have to add B comma G here. This is for my reference, it's a rough work. Okay, B comma G will be added here, and in the table I am going to mark the cell B comma G or G comma B, whichever is possible. So you go to the table, and what is B comma G? B comma G though is not possible. Let's see whether G comma B is possible. G comma B is possible. This is G, this is B, so this is that cell. So I am going to mark that cell G comma B. Okay, then G on 1. Now we have seen this particular E and this C. Now we are going to see this E and this C. So G on 1 gives you E, H on 1 gives you C. So since E and C are distinguishable, I can say H and G are also distinguishable. Same thing we are writing here. Okay, G on 1 gives you E, H on 1 gives you C. Since E and C are distinguishable, I can easily say G and H is also distinguishable. So I do write this. So we have found a newly distinguishable state, that is G comma H. So I am going to add G comma H to this list for my reference, and G comma H or H comma G is going to be marked. Now the cell G comma H is not possible, but H comma G, let's see whether it is possible. H comma G, it is possible. So the cell H comma G will be marked with X. So this is how we will be continuing further. Okay, so in the similar manner, when we consider the next possible, that is F comma C, okay, for state F comma C, okay, C and F are already found to be distinguishable, therefore we get these four results. First of all, B and E is distinguishable. Okay, so again in the similar manner, looking at the right hand side, I have already deduced this result. What you all can do is, you all can just trace it and you all try to get the answer. Okay, so I will not be repeating the steps. So E on 1 gives you F, B on 1 gives you C. Now C and F are already distinguishable, that's why I can say B and E is also distinguishable. So B and E will be added to this list, and E comma B or B comma E, whichever possible, I will be marking it in the cell. B comma E is not possible. Let's see, E comma B is possible. This is E comma B. So this is the cell I am talking about. E comma B is marked with X. Okay. So next, in the similar manner, I also get for C and F, I get another state which is distinguishable. That is, A on 1 gives you F, B on 1 gives you C. That's why AB is distinguishable. A comma B is distinguishable. I will be adding A comma B here, and I will also mark A comma B in the table. Now A comma B though we will not get. Let's see, B comma A is possible. So this is B comma A, this is that cell B comma A. So this cell B comma A will be marked with X. Okay. Similarly, the third combination, E on 1 gives you F, H on 1 gives you C. That's why EH is also found to be distinguishable. Okay, so I will be adding E comma H. I'll be adding E comma H, that is this here, and in the table I'm going to mark E comma H or H comma E. Now E comma H is not possible to mark. H comma E, let's see. H comma A, E will give you this cell. So I'm going to mark this cell with X. Okay. Then similarly, the fourth combination we have A comma H, that is also a distinguishable state. So I'll be adding A comma H here. And A comma H or H comma C, that cell I will be marking with X. A comma H is not possible. H comma A is possible. H comma A, so I am going to mark H comma A. Okay. So far these four new distinguishable states are found for the existing C comma F pair. How I have done it? Just by comparing and just by using the formula. So we have found, so far we have found for E comma C or C comma E. We have found for F comma C. Okay. Now we are going to find for the third possibility, that is G and C. First thing, B on 1 gives you C, D on 1 gives you G. Since C and G are distinguishable, I can easily say that B and D is also distinguishable. So the first pair that I get is B comma D. So I add B comma D here, B comma D, and in the table either B comma D or D comma B will be marked with X, whichever possible. B comma D is not possible. D comma B will be this cell, and it is already marked in the previous. Okay. Now notice that before adding these states, you should always check whether this state is already present. Now see, B comma D is already present, so you don't have to add it again. You don't have to repeat it again. Okay. So you don't have to write B comma D again. Let's move further. Next, for the second combination, say B on 1 gives you C and F on 1 gives you G. Now since C and G is distinguishable, I can also say B and F is distinguishable, or F and B is distinguishable. So we have found a new pair, F and B, or B and F. You check here whether F and B or B and F is already present. Now you just see B comma F is already present, so you don't have to edit here, which also means that B comma F will be already marked with X in the tables. Nothing. Okay, so B comma F is distinguishable and is already marked, so I leave it. Next, we also see that F and H is also distinguishable. Okay, so F and H or H and F, see whether it is already present. Now it is already there, which means that in table also this thing will be marked and you don't have to add it as a new combination. F comma H is already there. Next it is D comma H. D comma H. Now H comma D or D comma H, let's see whether it's already present. So you don't have to add it again, which also means that in the table D comma H would have been already marked with X in the previous iteration. So this is the only combination that we get with C and G. Okay, so we have considered G and C. Okay. Next, we are going to see for distinguishable states combination, that is E and F. Okay. So when I say E comma F, it is this one. Okay, it is this one. So let's check for E and F. Okay, now we have only two possibilities here, that is E on 1 gives you F, G on 1 gives you E, and since E and F are already found to be distinguishable, I can say E and G is distinguishable. So that's how I get a new pair, E comma G. So check whether E comma G is already present or G comma E is already present. E comma C. E comma G is not present, so I will add now E comma G. I will add E comma G and it will be also marked. G comma E or E comma G will be also marked in the table. So E comma G though I cannot find, but G comma E, let's see whether we can get it. G comma E is this cell. So I will mark G comma E with X. Okay. Okay, next we have a comma g. So just find out. Now a comma g, so not possible, but g comma a is already marked with x, so you don't have to mark it again. Okay. Next, so these are the two combinations for E and F. Next, for F and G, that's the last combination that is left, that is F comma G. For this combination F comma G, find out whether you get more distinguishable states. So when we calculate, we see that E on 1 gives you F, F and on 1 gives you G. So since F and G are distinguishable, I can easily say that E and F is also distinguishable. So E and F has to be added. So you just see the table E comma F or F comma E. Now E comma F is not possible. F comma E is already marked. That means this state is already present. Okay, so don't have to add it. Then also A comma 1 gives you F and F comma 1 gives you G. So AF happens to be the newly found distinguishable state, AF. So if you see the table, A comma F is already marked. So you don't have to mark it again. Now, shall we stop? Yes, because 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, only these 5 combinations we needed to follow for this iteration where we were reading each state on reading 1. We have seen all 5 combinations and these are the only pairs that are generated. You should not continue with the newly found pairs of distinguishable states that we have found for the current iteration. You should not proceed with those pairs which we have found for the current iteration. You have to only stop till all the pairs which are possible from the last iteration, like EC, FC, GC, FG and EF. These were the pairs from the last iteration which we found that for the current iteration to get new distinguishable state, these states would be fruitful. So only for these states you find out. You don't continue this procedure for the states that we have just got in the current iteration. So don't follow the procedure again, continue the procedure again for these green color states. That's what I mean. So this is the time where you have to stop. Now when we stop, looking at this diagram, okay, what we have done, wherever there is X mark, it means that those cells in those particular, rows and column, for example here B, this particular cell is marked with X, which simply means that B and A together they are distinguishable. Similarly, when I say this cell is marked with X, it simply means that it is B and D which are together distinguishable. But do you notice that there are some cells which are not yet marked? Yes. For example, if you consider this cell, okay, or if you consider this cell, okay, you consider this cell, G comma D, this cell here, it should have been already marked. I forgot to mark it here, G comma D. Okay, if you see the already found distinguishable states, you will see that D comma G we had found in the previous iteration. Okay, but we just forgot to mark it here, G comma D. Okay, and that is why this cell here is being shown as blank, but actually G comma D, this pair is also distinguishable, so this should have been already marked in the previous iteration. It was just a mistake. So you should be also very careful, and carefully you should mark each state, because even if you leave any state, the will be wrong, the answer will be wrong. So this should have been already marked in the previous iteration. Why? Because G comma D was already found distinguishable, G comma D. Okay, it's already present, and that is the reason why I write this. Okay, that is the reason why I write this. This is actually rough work, but I write this so that if something goes wrong, if I forget to mark some cell and all, I can just refer here, okay, and see that by mistake if some cell is left to be marked and so on. Okay, so that's why this rough work has to be done. Now continuing with the problem. So you see that there are 3 cells. This is one cell, this is one cell, and this is one cell. These are the 3 cells which are not marked. So which means there are only 3 states, pair of states. That means AE. Okay, that is A comma E, this is A comma E, B comma H. So if you see this cell, it is B comma H or H comma B, and D comma F, that is from D to F, so D comma F. So this shows that there are only three states, that is A comma E, B comma H and D comma F, which are not filled till the end of the table, till the end of the problem. Okay, so the cells which are filled, they are filled because the two states to which they represent, for example this particular cell is filled, it's marked with X because the two states, that is G and F, which it represents, they are distinguishable. Now this cell, if you consider, this cell is not marked. It simply means that the two states to which it represents, that is H comma B, they are not distinguishable, and if something is not distinguishable, then it has to be equivalent. So all this entire procedure that we have done so far is just to find which are the states in the original DFA which are equivalent states. As a result, now we have found out that A comma E, B comma H and D comma F, these are the three cells which are not filled. It simply means that the state A and E in the DFA, B and H in the DFA and D and F in the DFA, they are equivalent states. Now let us go to the definition of equivalent state. You know what's the meaning of equivalent state? It simply means that whatever transitions, now for example here we have just found out that A comma E is equivalent. That means whatever transition that happens for A, exactly the same transitions you will observe for E, as if A and E are one state. Okay, so in the minimized DFA that we draw, what we will do is we are going to consider all the states from the original DFA, because the final state of DFA, original DFA, will also remain the final state of the minimized DFA. However, the states A and E which appeared individually in the original DFA, now it will occur as a combination of two states. It will appear as a set of states. Similarly, B and H, which we just found that B and H are equivalent, like A and E, B and H are also equivalent. So B and H, which are now known to be equivalent, they will not appear as two separate states like in the original DFA. Here you will combine these two states B and H and they will represent one state. Similarly, D and F, okay, we have also found out that here D and F, okay, they are equivalent states. We have just found out that they are equivalent states, and that's why D and F, which actually appeared as individual states in the original DFA, now will be represented as one state, set of state. Okay, full set will be considered as one state, and as a result, with reference to the original transition table that we have, so this is the transition table for the original DFA that was given to us. Okay, your new DFA, the minimized version of DFA that you are going to have, will have total how many states? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. AE, BH and DF, these pairs were found to be equivalent because these cells were found blank. That's why AE, BH and DF together will represent one state each, whereas whatever remaining, those states will be represented individually, like how they were in the original DFA. Now, so one thing is very clear, we know now what are the states that are going to be present in our minimized version of the original DFA. Remember, what is the meaning of minimized DFA? Minimized DFA meaning it will be equivalent to the original DFA. Whatever work original DFA does, minimized DFA will also do the same work. But only thing is that the number of states and number of transitions which are very much in the original DFA, now you will have less number of states, less number of transitions, simplified DFA, but the DFA will do the same work as that of original DFA, right? So this is called as minimized DFA. So now what you need to do, once you already know once you find out which are the equivalent states, you have to only place them like this. And now what about the transition? So these are the transition. This is a transition table showing you the transitions from the original DFA that was given to you. Okay. So looking at the transition table, directly go on drawing the transitions. For example, let's start with the first one. Okay. state A on reading 0, okay, state A on reading 0 goes to B. So from state A, where A appears to be one of the element, I can say, because see, I am saying that A and E are equivalent. That means you call it as A, you call it as E, both of them will have the same transitions. Okay, so A and E together is one state. So now A on 0 goes to B. A is present in this subset, no? So I can say that A on 0 will go to a state where B will be one of the elements in that subset. Okay, so A on 0 goes to B, so I say A on 0 goes to B. Okay, so why I am pointing it to this particular cell? Because I know now that B and H are equivalent. Whether you call it as B, whether you call it as H, it is same. So A on 0 goes to B. That means AE on 0 should go to that particular state, which is a subset where B should be one of the element. Very simple. Similarly, A on 1 goes to F. So AE, which is a combination, which is that subset which gives you F state, it is this. Okay. So since this particular subset gives you F, A on 1 gives you F, so AE on 1 should go to AF. Right? Because whether you call it as F, whether you call it as D, they are now equivalent, they are same. Similarly, let's go for the second transition. Okay, this is a transition table of the original DFA. You have to use it and you have to draw. Now, third, let's start with state C. Okay, so we'll first do state B. So now state B on 0 goes to G. So from state B, now this is that state because B happens to be one of the members. So state B, from state B on 0 should go to G. Now G is individual state, so I can directly draw. So from BH on reading 0, we go to G. B on 0 goes to G. B on 1 goes to C. So then BH on 1 goes to C. Okay. So this is transition for B. Now C on 0 goes to A. C on 0 goes to A. Now which is that state where A is present as one of the element here? So when I say C on 0 goes to A, C on 0 should go to AE actually. Okay. So I will just draw C on 0 goes to AE because A is one of the element in that subset. C on 1 goes to C itself. Okay, so here also C on 1 will go to C itself. Then D on 0 goes to C. So D on 0 goes to C. So from D or from DF on 0 it will go to C. Now D on 1 goes to G. So D or DF on 1 goes to G. On 1 goes to G. Okay. Correct? So we have seen this. Next it is E. So state E on 0 goes to H. So AE contains E. Okay, and BH contains H. So I can say that E on 0 goes to H. So AE on 0 goes to BH. Now please note there is already a transition on 0. Why this is happening is because the first transition that we had seen, okay, first transition that we had seen was for A and for B. Okay, the first transition that we had seen was for A and was for B. And now the transition that we are seeing is for E and H. And what is E and H? E and H, okay, also has the same transition. Why it should have same transition? Because now we know that A and C, A and E Okay, because we know that A and E, they are equivalent. B and H, both of them are equivalent. So whatever transition that is there from A to B, the same transition will be there from E to H. That's why it's just a repetition. So you don't have to draw another transition. Now E on 1 goes to F. E on 1 goes to F. So I can say that from AE on 1 I go to DF. Again here we have already had this particular thing wherein I was saying that A on 1 goes to I was saying that E on 1 goes to E on 1 goes to F. I was saying this, E on 1 goes to F. So from AE on 1 it goes to DF. Fine. Next, this is done. Now F on 0 goes to C. F on 0 goes to C. Right? So F is here, so DF on 0 also goes to C. This is already there, so don't have to draw it again. F on 0 goes to C. Now F on 1 goes to G. So F on 1 goes to G. So you observe D on 1 also goes to G, F on 1 also goes to G. They have same transition, that's why D and F are equivalent. That's the meaning of it. So minimization of DFA essentially does what? The states which are equivalent, which appears to be equivalent, we are clubbing them together as one state, and that is how it reduces the DFA without changing, without affecting the meaning of the original DFA. Okay, so we have seen it for F. Finally, G on. Okay, finally, G on 0 goes to G itself. Now, G on 0 goes to G itself. So I can draw here G on 0 goes to G itself. G on 1 goes to E. So G on 1 will go to that particular state. That is this, where there will be E. Okay. G on 1 goes to E. And finally H on 0 goes to G. Now H on 0 goes to G. See, BH on 0, it is already going to G. So whether it is B or whether it is H, both are equivalent, and both on reading 0, both of them go to G. That's the meaning of equivalence. So don't have to draw it again. H on 0 goes to G, we have already considered. Now H on 1 goes to C. So H on 1 goes to C. We have already seen that B on 1 also was going to C. We have seen that B on 1 was also going to C, and now H is also going to C on 1. Why? Because B and H are equivalent. So ultimately, this what I have drawn is the final DFA, the minimized version of the DFA. Now, before we end, last thing. What is the initial state? In the original DFA, A was the initial state. So whichever state which has A as one of the element within it, that state will be initial state. So AE. Okay, so this will be the initial state. Which is the final state? Of course, C is the final state. In this diagram now, there is no other final state. It is only C. So this is how we minimize the DFA. This is the minimized DFA that we get. So that is it for today's lecture. Thank you.